Lesson 1, Service with a Smile.
Hey Anna, I heard you recently changed jobs. What's the new gig?
Oh, you heard right. I'm actually working in the service industry now.
The service industry, huh? That's a pretty broad field. What exactly are you doing?
I'm working as a customer service representative for a big retail company.
Ah, I see. Dealing with customers all day, that must be quite the experience.
You have no idea. It can be really challenging at times, but I'm enjoying it so far.
I can imagine. Customers can be, well, let's just say they don't always make things easy.
That's for sure. But a lot of the people I work with are actually former members of the military.
Really? That's interesting. Why do you think that is?
Well, a lot of the skills you learn in the military, like discipline, problem solving, and communication, are really valuable in customer service.
That makes a lot of sense. I guess the military does a good job of preparing people for that kind of work.
Exactly. And I find that a lot of my former military coworkers have a really great attitude when it comes to serving customers.
Yeah, that service with a smile mentality is so important in that line of work.
Absolutely. It's been really eye-opening to see how their training and experience translates so well to the service industry.
That's pretty cool. I have a lot of respect for people who can handle the customer service grind day in and day out.
Me too. It takes a special kind of patience and resilience. But I'm glad to be part of a team that really values that.
Well, I'm happy to hear you're finding fulfillment in your new role. Sounds like a great fit for you.
Lesson 2, Musical Musings.
Morning. I heard you've started a new side gig. What's the story there?
You're right, I have. I'm actually teaching music lessons now.
Music lessons, huh? That's pretty cool. What instruments are you teaching?
Well, I started out teaching piano, but I've been getting more and more requests for guitar lessons too.
Guitar, huh? That's a popular one. I always wanted to learn how to play, but never really got around to it.
You should definitely consider giving it a try. It's a really rewarding instrument to learn.
Yeah? What's the appeal for you? I mean, what made you decide to get into music teaching?
Well, I've always loved music, and I find a lot of fulfillment in helping others discover and nurture their musical talents.
That makes sense. And I imagine it's a nice change of pace from your day job, right?
Definitely. It's a great creative outlet, and I really enjoy the one-on-one interaction with my students.
That's awesome. How's the student load going so far? Are you keeping busy?
Not as much as I'd like, to be honest. I don't have a huge number of students yet, but I'm hoping to grow the business over time.
I see. Well, I'm sure word will spread and more people will start seeking you out. Music lessons are such a valuable service.
That's true. And I'm really enjoying the work, even with the smaller student load. It's just a nice creative outlet for me.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're finding fulfillment in it. Let me know if you ever need a guinea pig to practice your guitar lessons on.
Lesson 3, Beachside Banter.
Yo! Have you been down to the beach lately?
As a matter of fact, I was just there yesterday. Why do you ask?
I was thinking of heading down there this weekend. Figured it might be a nice time to build a sandcastle.
Oh, a sand castle, huh? Careful, you know how fickle the ocean can be.
Yeah, that's true. One big wave and it's bye bye castle. But that's half the fun, isn't it?
I suppose so. There's something satisfying about creating something so temporary.
Exactly. It's like a Zen exercise or something. Building it with the knowledge that it won't last.
I can see the appeal. Though I have to admit, I've always been more of a beach reader than a sand sculptor.
Really? You don't get the urge to unleash your inner child and get your hands dirty?
Haha, I don't know. There's something about keeping my feet dry and my book dry that appeals to me.
Fair enough. To each their own, I suppose. But you're missing out on the sheer joy of creating something out of nothing.
Maybe I'll have to give it a try next time. I do love the feeling of the sand between my toes.
That's the spirit. I'll bring the bucket and shovel, you bring the creativity.
Sounds like a plan. Just don't be surprised if my castle doesn't quite measure up to your architectural masterpieces.
Hey, it's the process that counts, not the final product. Though I might have to give you a few pointers.
Lesson 4, Bargain Hunting.
Yo, have you been doing any shopping lately?
As a matter of fact, I have. I've been on the hunt for some new clothes that won't break the bank.
Oh yeah? Find anything good?
Well, I stumbled upon this really nice thrift store the other day. They had some great stuff at super reasonable prices.
Thrifting, huh? I don't know, that's not really my style. I'm more of a mall kind of guy.
I know. But trust me, you can find some real gems if you're willing to dig a little.
I don't know. I'm just worried I'd end up looking like a total weirdo, you know?
Don't be so self-conscious. You'd be surprised what you can find. Plus, it's way better for the environment.
I guess that's true. And I have been wanting to update my wardrobe a bit. Maybe I'll give it a shot.
That's the spirit. I can even go with you if you want. Help you navigate the racks.
Huh, alright, deal. Though I reserve the right to veto anything too out there.
Fair enough. I'll keep the crazy stuff to a minimum, I promise.
Appreciate it. So when did you want to do this little thrifting adventure of ours?
How about this weekend? I'm free Saturday afternoon if that works for you.
Sounds good to me. Just as long as we don't spend the whole day rummaging through old clothes.
Don't worry, I'll make sure we have time for a little lunch break. Can't shop on an empty stomach, am I right?
You got that right. Alright, it's a deal then. Ready to help me find my next signature look?
Lesson 5, Making New Friends.
Yo, can I get your advice on something?
Sure, what's up?
Well, I've been feeling a little isolated lately, you know? I think I need to get out there and meet some new people.
I totally understand that feeling. It can be tough to put yourself out there sometimes.
Exactly. Any suggestions on how I can go about it? I'm kind of at a loss.
Well, one idea that comes to mind is joining a local community group or club.
A club, huh? I don't know, that doesn't really seem like my scene.
Trust me, it can be a great way to meet people with similar interests. What are you into?
Well, I've always been a bit of a sports nut. Maybe I could find a recreational league or something.
Perfect. There's bound to be a pickup basketball group or intramural softball team in your area.
Ooh, softball sounds fun. I used to play back in high school.
See? There you go. And you'll already have that in common with your new teammates.
You know what? That actually doesn't sound too bad. Worth a shot, at least.
Exactly. And who knows, you might even find a new hobby you love in the process.
That's a good point. Alright, I'm convinced. Time for me to get out of this house and be social.
Attaboy. Just remember to keep an open mind and put yourself out there. The hardest part is taking that first step.
Will do. Thanks for the advice. I really appreciate you looking out for me.
Anytime, John. I'm happy I could help. Let me know how it goes with the softball team, okay?
You got it. I'll keep you posted. Wish me luck.
Lesson 6, The Era of Cattle Drives.
Yo, did you know that the era of cattle drives is basically over these days?
No way, really? I thought cattle drives were still a big part of the ranching industry.
Nah, those days are pretty much in the past now. With the rise of the railroad and better transportation, there's just no need for them anymore.
I had no idea. What led to the decline of those massive cattle drives across the country?
Well, back in the day, ranchers had to move their herds long distances to get them to market. But with the railroad, they could just ship the cattle by train.
I see, that makes a lot of sense. The railroad must have been a game changer for the industry.
Absolutely. Once the rail lines started connecting all the major cattle towns, the need for those classic cattle drives just kind of faded away.
Fascinating. I always pictured those old school cowboys driving huge herds across the open range. Guess that's more of a romanticized vision these days.
Totally. I mean, you might still see a small scale cattle drive here and there, but nothing like the massive operations of the past.
Wow, the end of an era. It's crazy how quickly technology can transform entire industries like that.
Yeah, it's kind of bittersweet in a way. Those cattle drives were such an iconic part of the Old West.
I can imagine. Though I bet the modern ranchers are pretty grateful to have the railroad instead of dealing with all those logistics.
Oh, for sure. I mean, can you imagine trying to herd thousands of cattle across hundreds of miles these days? Sounds like a logistical nightmare.
No kidding. The railroad must have been a total game changer for the ranching business.
Absolutely. It's amazing how quickly things can change, you know? One minute, you've got these massive cattle drives, and the next, they're practically obsolete.
The power of progress, I guess. It's fascinating to see how industries evolve over time.
Totally. It just goes to show how important it is to adapt and embrace new technologies, even if it means letting go of old traditions.
Well said, John. I'm glad I learned something new about the history of the cattle industry today.
Me too. It's always cool to dive into these little bits of history, you know?
Definitely. Thanks for sharing your knowledge, John. I appreciate you expanding my horizons.
Anytime. I'm always happy to geek out about this kind of stuff.
Lesson 7: The Scent of Success.
Yo, you know what I love? Fresh smelling products.
Oh, really? What is it about fresh scents that you enjoy so much?
I don't know, there's just something so invigorating about them. They just seem to lift my mood, you know?
I agree, fresh scents can be really uplifting. Do you have a favorite type of fragrance?
That's a tough one. I'd have to say I'm a big fan of citrusy scents. There's something about that bright, zesty aroma that I find really appealing.
Ooh, citrus is a great choice. It's so refreshing and energizing. Do you look for citrus-based products when you're shopping?
Absolutely. I always try to seek out things like lemon, orange, or grapefruit scented soaps, cleaners, even candles sometimes.
That makes total sense. I'm the same way, I'm always drawn to those crisp, clean citrus notes.
right? There's just something so vibrant and uplifting about them. Way better than those heavy, cloying floral scents, in my opinion.
Totally agree. Floral can be nice, but it can also be a bit overpowering. Citrus is just so bright and invigorating.
Exactly. And you know what else I love? Minty scents. There's something so refreshing about that cool, herbal aroma.
Ooh, good point. Mint is another one of my favorites. It's so awakening and energizing.
Definitely. I find myself gravitating towards mint based products a lot, especially in the summertime.
Me too. There's just something about that crisp, clean mint smell that's so perfect for hot weather.
Definitely. It's like an instant mood booster, you know? Just catches you right in the senses.
Absolutely. Scent can have such a powerful effect on our mood and overall well-being.
Totally. I'm a big believer in the importance of surrounding yourself with pleasant fragrances.
Me too. It's amazing how much a simple scent can influence how we feel and perceive the world around us.
Couldn't agree more. Gotta keep those senses stimulated in a good way, you know?
Definitely. Fresh, invigorating scents are the way to go. They just make everything feel a bit brighter.
Amen to that. Scent game strong, my friend.
Lesson 8: Fresh Finds.
Alright, you got any plans for grocery shopping this week?
Not really, just the usual. Why, do you have something in mind?
Well, I was thinking we could try to find some fresh new products, you know? Shake things up a bit.
Ooh, that sounds fun. What kind of fresh finds did you have in mind?
I don't know, maybe some new produce or snacks we've never tried before. Just something to liven up the routine, you know?
I love that idea. Fresh and new is always exciting. Any particular brands or items you're on the lookout for?
Not really, to be honest. As long as it's fresh and looks appetizing, I'm game to give it a shot.
Same here. I'm always down to try new and interesting foods, as long as they're high quality.
Exactly. Quality is key, but I'm not too picky about specific brands or anything like that.
Totally agree. Sometimes the generic or off-brand stuff can be just as good, if not better, than the name brands.
Definitely. And you know what else I love? Finding those little local gems, like the farmer's market or specialty shops.
Ooh yes, those hidden gem spots are the best. You never know what kind of unique, fresh finds you're gonna come across.
Exactly. It's like a little adventure every time. Way more fun than just sticking to the same old routine at the big chain grocery stores.
Absolutely. And you get to support local businesses too, which is always a bonus.
For sure. Plus, the produce and stuff is usually way fresher and higher quality.
Agreed. I always feel good about shopping local and getting those super fresh, seasonal foods.
Definitely. Alright, so we're on the same page then: new, fresh, and local. Let's do this.
You got it. I'm excited to see what kind of fun, fresh finds we can uncover this week.
Same here, this is gonna be great. Can't wait to try some new stuff.
Lesson 9: Wartime Generosity.
Hey Anna, did you hear about the war fund that's been set up to help the soldiers?
Yes, I have. It's amazing to see how the British public is rallying to support our troops.
Definitely. The power of that kind of community effort is just incredible.
Absolutely. I can't even imagine how much of a morale boost it must be for the soldiers to know they have that level of public support.
Definitely. And the donations that have been pouring in are staggering. It just goes to show how much people care.
Exactly. Even small individual contributions can add up to make a huge difference when everyone pitches in.
Totally. Every bit helps, and I'm sure it's going to make a real impact for the soldiers and their families.
Absolutely. It's just so heartwarming to see people come together in times of need like this.
For sure. And I love how it's bringing the community closer too, with everyone doing what they can.
Definitely. It's bringing out the best in people, which is exactly what we need in these challenging times.
Exactly. It's a powerful reminder of the strength and resilience of the human spirit.
Couldn't agree more. This war fund is just one example of how the British public is rising to the occasion.
Absolutely. I'm really proud to be a part of a nation that can rally together like this.
Me too. It's truly inspiring to see how much people are willing to give and sacrifice for the greater good.
Definitely. It just goes to show the incredible power of collective action and community.
Absolutely. I'm so grateful to be a part of a society that values togetherness and compassion like this.
Couldn't have said it better myself. This war fund is just the tip of the iceberg, I'm sure.
Lesson 10: Relaxing after work.
Hey Anna, what do you do to wind down after a long day at work?
Oh, I find that a combination of cardio and strength training really helps me unwind.
Interesting, what kind of exercises do you typically do?
Well, I'll usually start with a brisk 30-minute walk or jog to get my heart rate up.
That sounds like a great way to relieve stress. What about strength training?
I really enjoy doing some light dumbbell exercises, things like bicep curls and shoulder presses.
Nice, that sounds like a well rounded routine. Do you find it effective in helping you relax?
Definitely. The physical activity releases endorphins and helps clear my mind.
That's awesome. I've been meaning to start exercising more after work.
I'd highly recommend it. Even just a simple routine can make a big difference.
Good to know. Any other tips you'd suggest for winding down in the evenings?
Well, I also try to practice some light stretching and deep breathing before bed.
Ah, yes, the importance of flexibility and mindfulness. That's a great idea.
Exactly. It's all about finding what works best for you to decompress.
For sure. I think I'm going to give your routine a try. Thanks for the advice.
Of course. I'm happy I could provide some helpful suggestions. Let me know how it goes.
Will do. Appreciate you taking the time to chat about this with me.
Anytime. I'm always glad to discuss healthy habits and self-care.
Awesome. Catch you later.
Lesson 11: Thoughtful Perspectives.
Morning. I came across an interesting interview with a famous actor the other day.
Oh, really? What did he say that caught your attention?
Well, the interviewer asked him why so many of his leading ladies were physically unattractive.
That's an unusual question. What was the actor's response?
He basically said that the ones who look like horses are often the most talented actresses.
Whoa, that's a rather bold and controversial statement. What do you make of that?
I know, right? It seemed like a rather insensitive thing to say, in my opinion.
I can understand why you might find that comment offensive. Beauty is so subjective.
Exactly. Talent and acting ability shouldn't be judged based on physical appearance.
I agree. It's disappointing to hear that kind of shallow mentality from an acclaimed actor.
Absolutely. I think it speaks to some deeper issues in the film industry.
For sure. Objectifying women and valuing looks over skill is so problematic.
Definitely. I wish more actors and directors would challenge those outdated attitudes.
Me too. Art should celebrate diversity and focus on the craft, not superficial qualities.
Couldn't agree more. It's a shame that outdated mindsets like that still persist.
Absolutely. But I'm glad we can have thoughtful discussions about these topics.
Yes, it's important to keep having these kinds of conversations.
Definitely. Thank you for bringing this up, it's an important issue to reflect on.
Anytime. I appreciate you engaging with me on it in such a thoughtful way.
Lesson 12: Staying Connected.
Hey Anna, have you seen the news about that new social media platform that's been taking the world by storm?
No, I haven't. What have you heard about it? Is it something we should check out?
Definitely, it sounds really cool. Apparently, it's all about connecting with people in a more meaningful way.
Ooh, that does sound intriguing. I'm always looking for new ways to stay engaged and up to date.
Same here. I think it's important to keep our fingers on the pulse of what's happening, you know?
Absolutely. We definitely don't want to miss out on the latest trends and innovations.
Exactly. This platform seems to be all about fostering genuine connections and conversations.
That's an interesting angle. So many social media apps these days focus on superficial interactions.
Totally. But this one seems to be taking a different approach, which is really refreshing.
I'll have to look into it more. Do you have any insight on how it works or what sets it apart?
From what I've read, it has some unique features that encourage more thoughtful exchanges.
Nice, that's exactly the kind of thing I'm interested in. I'll make sure to stay updated on it.
Yeah, definitely check it out. I have a feeling it could be a game changer in the social media space.
Well, you've certainly piqued my curiosity. I'm excited to learn more about this new platform.
Same here. It feels like the kind of thing that could really bring people together in a positive way.
I agree, that's exactly the kind of positive change we need in the social media landscape.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to seeing how it all unfolds. Shall we explore it together?
Lesson 13, Laptop Dilemma.
Morning. Have you been looking for a new laptop lately?
I have. I'm in the market for one, actually. Do you have any recommendations?
As a matter of fact, I do. I recently upgraded my laptop and I'm really happy with my purchase.
Oh, perfect. I could definitely use some advice. What kind of laptop did you end up getting?
I went with a sleek and powerful model from one of the top brands. It's been a game changer for my work.
Awesome, that's exactly what I need. I've been feeling a bit lost in all the options out there.
I hear you. There are so many different features and specs to consider these days.
Definitely. I need something that can handle my workload, but I don't want to break the bank?
Absolutely. That's why I did a lot of research to find the right balance of performance and value.
That's really helpful. I think I need something similar. Any particular brand or model you'd recommend?
Well, the one I got is a top of the line model from a leading manufacturer. It's been a real workhorse.
Ooh, that sounds promising. I'll have to check that out. Do you mind sharing the specific details?
Not at all. Let me give you the rundown on the key features and specs. I think you'll really like it.
Great, I'm all ears. This is exactly the kind of information I need to make an informed decision.
Awesome, I'm happy to help. I'll make sure to cover everything you need to know.
Lesson 14, Outdoor Adventure.
Hey, have you heard about the new hiking trail that just opened up?
No, I haven't. I love being outdoors, so that sounds right up my alley.
It's supposed to be a real gem. They say it's about a 5-mile loop, with some gorgeous views.
Ooh, that's perfect. I've been meaning to get out and explore more of the local trails.
Then this might be just the adventure we need. The trail is supposed to be well marked and suitable for all skill levels.
Excellent, that's great news. I'm always looking for new hiking spots that are beginner friendly.
Exactly. And the best part is, it's just a short drive from the city, so it's super accessible.
That's so convenient. I'd love to check it out. When were you thinking of tackling the trail?
Well, the weather's been fantastic lately, so I was hoping we could go this weekend if you're free.
I think that could work. I don't have any major plans, and I'd love the chance to get some fresh air.
Perfect. I can pick you up on Saturday morning, and we can make a day of it. Pack a nice lunch and everything.
Sounds like a plan. I'll make sure to wear my hiking boots and bring plenty of water. Can't wait.
Awesome, me neither. This is going to be so much fun. I'll send you all the details as we get closer.
Lesson 15, The Ivory Trade.
Morning. Have you been following the news about the ivory trade?
Yes, it's such a heartbreaking issue. The greed for ivory is devastating animal populations.
Absolutely. The way poachers ruthlessly kill elephants and rhinos for their tusks is just sickening.
I know, it's horrific. And the demand for ivory products, like carvings and jewelry, is driving this whole cruel industry.
Exactly. It's such an unnecessary and selfish practice, with no regard for the suffering of these majestic animals.
Completely agree. It's devastating to see these magnificent creatures being slaughtered just for their ivory.
The worst part is, a lot of people still don't realize the true cost of the ivory trade.
That's true. We need to raise more awareness about the devastating impact it has on endangered species.
Definitely. I think boycotting ivory products and supporting conservation efforts is the way to go.
Absolutely. And putting pressure on governments to enforce stricter laws and regulations around the ivory trade.
Absolutely. It's going to take a collective effort, but we have to do something to protect these animals.
I couldn't agree more. It's such an important cause, and I'm glad we're both passionate about it.
Me too. It's one of those issues that really hits home for me. I'm committed to doing whatever I can to help.
Same here. I'm glad we can discuss it and share our thoughts on this critical issue.
Definitely. It's important to keep the conversation going and inspire others to get involved.
Lesson 16, Giving Back to the Community.
Hey, have you been thinking about how we can give back to our community?
Absolutely. I've been really passionate about finding ways to get involved and make a difference.
Same here. There's just something so rewarding about contributing to the greater good, you know?
Definitely. It's a great way to connect with people and feel a sense of purpose.
Exactly. And the impact you can have, even with small gestures, can be truly inspiring.
Definitely. Have you been considering any specific volunteer opportunities or initiatives?
Well, I've been looking into a few different things, like working at the local food bank or organizing a neighborhood cleanup.
Those are fantastic ideas. I was also thinking about tutoring underprivileged kids or helping out at the animal shelter.
Those are wonderful suggestions as well. It's amazing how many ways there are to give back.
Absolutely. And the great thing is, it doesn't have to be a huge time commitment. Even an hour or two a week can make a real difference.
Totally agree. And the sense of fulfillment you get from it is just unparalleled.
Definitely. It's such a rewarding experience, both for the community and for ourselves.
Absolutely. And it's a great way to meet new people and build a stronger sense of community.
Definitely. I'm really excited to get involved and see how we can make a positive impact.
Same here. Let's make a plan to explore some options and get started soon.
Sounds like a plan. I can't wait to see what we can accomplish together.
Me neither. This is going to be so fulfilling, I just know it.
Lesson 17, Exploring New Places.
Hey, have you ever been to that new cafe that just opened up downtown?
No, I haven't. I've been meaning to check it out, but I haven't had the chance yet.
Well, you're in for a real treat. I went there the other day and the ambience is amazing.
Oh, really? What's the vibe like? I'm always on the lookout for cozy new spots.
It's got this really chic, modern feel, but with a touch of old world charm. The decor is just beautiful.
That sounds right up my alley. I'll have to make a point of going there this weekend.
Definitely. And the menu is fantastic. They've got all sorts of unique and delicious offerings.
Ooh, that's exciting. I love trying new and interesting dishes. What did you end up getting?
I had their signature latte, and it was honestly one of the best I've ever had. The barista really knew what they were doing.
Ooh, a quality latte is a must-have for me. I'll have to remember to order that.
Absolutely. And they've got this really cozy seating area with these big, plush armchairs.
That sounds perfect for curling up with a good book and a warm drink. I can't wait to check it out.
Yeah, it's the ideal spot for a relaxing afternoon. I think you're really going to love it.
I'm sure I will. Thanks for the recommendation, John. I'm definitely adding it to my list.
Anytime. Let me know what you think of it once you've had a chance to check it out.
Will do. I'm looking forward to experiencing that cozy, charming atmosphere for myself.
Awesome. Enjoy. I have a feeling you're going to become a regular there.
Lesson 18, Weekend Plans.
Hey, what are you up to this weekend?
Not sure yet, to be honest. I'm still trying to figure out my plans.
Well, if you're open to suggestions, I might have a few ideas for you.
Ooh, I'm all ears. What did you have in mind?
Well, there's that new art exhibit downtown that's supposed to be really cool.
Oh, I've heard about that. I was actually thinking of checking that out.
Perfect. We could make a day of it, grab lunch at that trendy new cafe, then head over to the exhibit.
That sounds like a lovely plan. I'm always up for discovering new art.
And afterwards, we could maybe catch a movie or just wander around the city.
That sounds right up my alley. I love a good balance of culture and leisure.
Same here. And it would be nice to spend some quality time together, too.
Definitely. It's been a while since we've had a proper hangout session.
Exactly. We need to make more of an effort to catch up, you know?
Absolutely. This weekend sounds like the perfect opportunity.
Great. So, shall we plan to meet up on Saturday afternoon, then?
Sounds perfect. Just send me the details and I'll be there.
Will do. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun-filled day.
Me too. I can't wait to see what adventures we'll get up to.
Same here. It's going to be a blast, I just know it.
Lesson 19, Social Media Impact.
Morning, have you noticed how much social media has affected our lives?
Absolutely, it's hard to imagine a world without it these days.
Right? It's become such an integral part of our daily routine.
Definitely. I mean, I'm constantly checking my feeds, updating my status, and scrolling through endless posts.
Same here. It's like we're always connected, even when we're not really present.
Exactly. I feel like I'm missing out if I'm not active on social media.
Exactly. And it's not just about keeping up with friends and family anymore.
No, it's also about staying informed, finding new interests, and even building a personal brand.
Absolutely. Social media has become this powerful tool for self expression and networking.
Absolutely. But don't you ever feel like it can be a bit overwhelming sometimes?
Oh, definitely. The constant influx of information and the pressure to curate our online personas can be exhausting.
Totally. And it's not just us, it seems to be affecting everyone, including our relationships and mental health.
Yeah, I've read about studies showing the negative impact of social media on things like anxiety and depression.
Exactly. It's like we're constantly comparing ourselves to these idealized versions of others.
Absolutely. It's important to find a healthy balance and not let social media consume our lives.
Definitely. I try to set boundaries and be more mindful of how I use it.
That's a great approach. It's all about finding that sweet spot between enjoying the benefits and avoiding the pitfalls.
Exactly. Social media is here to stay, so we might as well learn to navigate it in a way that's healthy and fulfilling.
Couldn't agree more. It's an ongoing process, but being intentional about it is key.